I'm going to show you how to plant red cedar trees or any type of cover tree, like any type of conifer, so that way you can provide cover for deer to bed in your bedding areas. So as you can see, a little bit of rain. It's actually moving out right now, and so it should be clearing up really soon, and hopefully either next video or the next video after that we'll be working on switchgrass, spraying and mowing. And so we're going to plant some switchgrass in here. I've got 9 more trees that I planted, some over here and some over here, just like this. But why are cedar trees good for bedding areas? Well, as you can see, it's got a lot of bushy. It's bushy all the way to the bottom, but when it gets to maturity, it won't be all the way to the bottom. That's what that switchgrass is really good for, because it can cover that bottom layer, and then you still got the top. So even without the switchgrass, it still gives you a great cover. And so I've got a row going this way, and then I got 2 over here. And so actually this spring, I've got some trees from Coldstream Farms. It's a tree nursery in Michigan, tree and shrub nursery in Michigan. And so they're sponsoring one of those videos, and so they're sending me 25 red cedar trees, and they're sending me 25 white oak trees, and then there's 32 hybrid willow trees that I personally bought. But huge thanks to Coldstream Farms for sending those out to me. Haven't got them yet, but I'm scheduled for late March, which we're in right now, to mid-April. So that's really cool. And so they can come at any time. So I'm going to be, as soon as I'm getting them, I'm going to plant them and make a video about them. And so can't wait for those red cedar trees to come. Going to plant a whole row in here. Got a stand location over here to shoot into the bedding area. And so this is a buck bedding area, tons of rubs, great sign. We know it's a buck bedding area because there's rubs, we've seen bucks in it, and we've seen beds in it. And so really cool. Actually just came back in here a couple days ago, scouted out most of the property, planted these trees, checked trail cameras, spooked 2 does over here bedded, which is fine. It's only spring, so it was really cool because I spooked the doe first, working on while I was clearing trees from the food plot, and then later I found its bed back in the back bedding area. So that was really neat to see. But we're also going to plant red cedar trees over there and hybrid willow trees. But the trees from Coldstream Farm are really good if you need any type of habitat tree. They've got them, and even red osier dogwood. I think they even have gray dogwood too, so any shrubs like that to put in your bedding areas, go to Coldstream Farms and look them up and get some trees from them. Great quality trees and affordable prices. And so these were really cool trees. Actually personally got these, and so I just moved them from a different location. I relocated them. So these, once they grow up, they could grow anywhere to 30 feet to 40 feet, and so that will provide thermal cover and a windbreaker for when the deer are bedded over here. And so once a big wind comes up, it'll hit the trees instead of hitting on the deer. So the deer want those thermals, and they want to be warm in their bedding areas. And so conifer trees, like willow, hybrid willow trees, red cedar trees, white cedar, bunch of cedar trees are really good. Willow trees, pine trees are okay for it. It's not the best, but these trees, when they grow up, like I said, they have all these just kind of bushy all the way around, and they provide a great windbreak and thermals for them as well. So really neat to see, and I can't wait to see how this spot grows, and hopefully these grow well. And if you're planting cedar trees and you're looking to plant cedar trees, you probably should cage them. I'm going to cage mine, hopefully, or as many as I can. I've got 25 red cedar trees plus these 9 that I personally got. And so that's 34 red cedar trees. So I'm going to be planting all that. That's a lot to cage. Then I've got another 32 hybrid willow trees, which will be about 66 trees that I'd have to cage. So I'm not going to cage all of them, but kind of the trees that are in the most important spots. I don't want the deer to get to. I don't want them to rub on. And so it's a good and a bad thing at the same time, because you can see all the sign that they're making, but they're destroying your trees. So you really got to protect these trees. They're highly susceptible to browsing pressure because they'll eat on these too. So make sure you cage them up if you're going to plant them in your bedding areas. So these red cedar trees we're planting, obviously in here I got some planted. I'm going to plant a back row too, or maybe just add on to this row. And I'm going to plant them about 2 to 3 yards apart. And so some places say 5 to 6 feet apart. I think that's way too close. But you can do that as well. I think it would be okay. I just want to make more spacing, especially these ones are really bushy, so they'll have plenty of space. And if we have to, we can come in here and plant switchgrass. But I think I am going to still plant switchgrass in this spot, but probably not. I have got totally different plans since I've got all those trees. And so we're going to plant white oak trees in here for the deer to eat on and browse on while they're bedded. We're also going to put red osier dogwood that we have over here, relocate them to right here into the back bedding area. So, but specifically these cedar trees we're going to plant, they're already planted here. We're going to plant a couple more here, and I'll do a video on that. Then we're going to plant some in the food plot, make a totally great screen for the food plot, make sure nothing can see out and no predators can come in, and so the deer will feel totally protected when they're in the food plot. And then back by the mock scrape stand, got a goldenrod spot, so I'm just going to make one line of switchgrass, and then behind that I'm going to make one line of hybrid willow or red cedar trees, doesn't really matter. But I just want that to be cover. I don't want them to bed right there, because if I get into that in the afternoon, I'm going to spook them out. It would still be a good morning spot, but I'm not making a totally huge covering like I am here, because I want them to bed right here. Because I want to use that stand in the morning and in the afternoon, and that stand in the morning should be really great. I've already had a lot of great success out of that stand, the mock scrape stand in the morning. And so when we're done with that, my browse plot, if you remember that, I'm not going to do a browse plot anymore because I've got all this new stuff coming in. So I'm going to make that a bedding area too, so that way this particular property needs a lot more cover than what it has. So that's why I'm not focusing on browse plots right now, and that's why I'm planting those trees. And so in the what was going to be the browse plot, I'm going to plant bedding in there, a bedding pocket. And then in the back bedding area, I planted switchgrass there last year, which you'll probably remember. And if you watch my videos, you'll see that too. And so 3 cedar trees that I actually relocated from here over there, 3 of them grew out of 5. So that was really cool, so I don't have to plant as many in there as I do in here, but probably another 4 or 5 to make that a really good cover. And that was really cool because that doe that I spooked up was bedded back there. So red cedar trees are great for if you're trying to get bedding and make bedding. And so hybrid willow trees are really good too. I don't have them yet, but hybrid willows grow pretty tall too, and they're really fast growers, 2 feet per year. And so that can be holding deer within probably 3, 4, 5 years. At the least, probably 2.5. But they don't have to reach maturity to hold deer. It would definitely help, and it would definitely make better cover. But if a tree is, say, maybe another 4 or 5 feet above my head, and a deer is bedding right here, that'll still provide a windbreak and thermals for it. So they're going to have to bed closer to the tree if they're younger. If they're older, they can bed farther out. But there's still a little bit of a steep hill right here, and there's still plenty of stuff to keep them warm. This is just an addition and kind of an enhancement, and this will make this a really good spot. So if you're planting red cedar trees, hybrid willow trees, any type of conifer tree that will keep deer on your land in their bedding areas and keep them warm with the thermals and the wind breaking, then red cedar trees are the way to go. Hybrid willow trees and any conifers are really good for if you're trying to do just that. And so, can't wait to see what the spot turns into, and hopefully you'll be able to plant some of these red cedar trees too. If you need to find some, go to Coldstream Farms. Really good stuff and really good quality trees too. So, like I said, can't wait to see what this spot is, and in the next couple of years, it's going to be really good for bedding.